Okay, the second video here is to help you with your homework. The most important thing is that you understand which shape we are talking about. So in the directions, make sure you know. So these are all rhombi, which is like rhombuses. Some people say rhombuses, but those of us who know Latin say rhombi. So they have everything that a parallelogram has. So opposite angles are equal. And then they have the special characteristics with angles that we have a right angles where the diagonals meet. And so on these two, you know you can put right angles in there. And then you have angles are bisected at the outside here. So anywhere you see that, if you have a rhombus, you can add all that in before you even go to answer any questions. Okay, I'm gonna leave you to the first one, but let's look at the second one. So I'm gonna add in some numbers here. So that's 26. Since these are bisected, that's 26. Opposite angles are congruent. So these are both 26 because that has to add up to 52. So basically what you have here is an isosceles triangle and an isosceles triangle. So the measure of angle 1 equals 26. Let's answer my first question. Measure of angle 2 and the measure of angle 3 are both the same. And you can figure out what they are by taking 180 minus 26 minus 26, or 180 minus 52, which is 118. Sorry, 128. Okay, so pretty much you're going to be following these same properties. Opposite angles are equal. You can start there. If you only have one diagonal, it's an isosceles triangle. I think you'll like these. There's not any equations to figure out. You have right triangles here. Just make sure you answer the whole question. So write the numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when we check it, you can go through it. Find the measures of the numbered angles in each rhombus. Again, it's a rhombus, so same concept, not that much different, just a few different way things are ordered. You might have to work your way around. This one has both sets of diagonals, so I add my right angle in right away. So that helps you narrow some things down. And then I also know that if there's any angle measure, I can double it. I can write it twice, so here and here, here and here, 35, 35, 35, 35. Find the other angle, those are the same. All kinds of good stuff. Okay, for number 18 through 23, LMNP is a rectangle. Find the value of x. So this, again, rectangle. Make a picture so you can at least see LMNP, order matters. And with a rectangle, opposite sides are important and diagonals are important. So I'm going to make the diagonals. I know that the diagonals are congruent and the opposite sides are congruent. So my diagonals, so I just got to look at what's given, and I can redraw the picture. I can just put on here ln equals x, so that's a diagonal. mp equals 2x minus 4. So to solve that, set them equal to each other. Notice there's two parts to this question. Find the length of each diagonal as well. So I'm gonna solve this first one. X equals 2x minus 4. Negative x equals negative 4. X equals 4. So that's the first part of my answer. The second part of my answer would be to plug in 4. Well, in this case, we got x already, so the diagonals are each 4. I'll skip down here and do number 23. LN is a diagonal, and MP. No different. Let's see if there's any one of these. They're all the same, just different solving. Make sure you find the diagonals. Why don't you go ahead and skip 19 through 23. I'll know if you watched the video or not if you skip those. Determine the most precise name for each quadrilateral. Best thing to do here, so you don't get confused, is just list the things you have, because when I do these problems, I'm going to make it look like a shape that you want to look at it and just say that's the shape. You're going to have to verify it. So look what I have. I have 4 congruent sides. I have opposite sides parallel. And that's it. Opposite sides parallel makes a parallelogram. 4 congruent sides makes it a, I gotta tell you. So right here I could list this and say I have opposite sides parallel, 4 congruent sides, opposite sides parallel, 4 right angles. Some of the shapes will look like what they are and some of them won't. You saw that in the last assignment I gave. I like to mix it up. Keep going here. Find the value of variables, then find the side lengths. Rhombus, important. All 4 sides are equal. So I can set anything equal to each other. I could set those equal to each other because it's a rhombus. So I have all these equations I could find. Pick the easiest one to solve. I'm going to pick this one. 5x equals 15. X equals 3. If x equals 3, 3y equals 15, y equals 5, you can figure it out from there. It's a square. Key. Opposite sides equal. Notice when I set these sides equal to each other, that's just going to be like a parallelogram. It doesn't help me. I don't want to end up with a system. The nice thing about a square is any 2 sides are equal. Try to find 2 sides that only have 1 variable and you won't have to do a system. The last 2, you don't need to use graph paper here for this one. Just draw a parallelogram that's not a rectangle or a rhombus. You can just draw it right there. Find the angle measures and sides of the rhombus at the right. Okay. Whew, lots of stuff on there. So start with whatever you want to start with. Find things that are equal and set them equal to each other. So with the rhombus, all 4 sides, you can set any side equal to any other side. When you find a value, for instance, I could start out by finding, get a little closer. I could set these 2 sides equal together in this rhombus. So r plus 1 equals 2r minus 4. And I can find r. So once I find r, I'm going to plug it back in. And now I can go about finding the next thing. So r equals 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. Better make sure it's right. 10 minus 4 is 6. So I don't need that anymore because now I have 6. I can set 6 equal to any of those sides. Just kind of work your way around, do the same thing with the angles. When you're done with this worksheet, make a note of which questions you don't understand. I'm not going to be there. You might have some things you can't figure out. Circle them, make a big note so you can ask about it. We can go over on Monday. There is a Canvas quiz. You can do it whenever you want to during the class period if you want to wait, and it's short, it's just a few questions. You might want to do this one first. This is a Quizlet, which is practicing flashcards. And then you have your Khan Academy stuff. I made all the due dates on Monday, so if you don't get them done, some of you, about half of you already done them. You can keep taking them over and over again if you want to get a higher score. You can do that. This thing is something we haven't done very much of, categorizing all of them, but you should be able to categorize better now that you know more. Okay, so spend the rest of the time working on the checklist of things to do. Monday we will go over lots of homework questions and making sure that we're good to go. So don't show up with blank papers. Stay working on these different things. Help each other out, get these problems solved.